backwards. I got, I can't see with the widescreen. Here, let's see without the widescreen. Well, that'll work. I can read the chat. I had the lens on the wrong side of the camera here. So, all right, folks. Can you give me a thumb, or not a thumbs up, but a comment of anything, just to let me know that this is working. And I'll wait till I hear from everybody. All right, it's working. Okay, so I'm live. I'm in a shipping container that is going to go to Venezuela, and that's not a lie. I've actually got 2 shipping containers, but only one is going. So, to Venezuela. Norway can see me. Well, that's good to know. So, folks, it's happening. It's happening. I'm in a shipping container. Well, as you can tell, I'll give you a little bit of pan around here so you can see. Yeah, it's a shipping container. See? I own this shipping container. I bought it. It's brand new. Well, it's not brand new. It's been used once. They call it a one tripper. But it smells brand new. So, but it really smells. You can really smell the paint. It's fresh. It was just built, it says on the outside, September 2021. So, yes, tiny ducks, I'm going to get out while I can. So, I'm in a shipping container. So, I'm in a shipping container that is going to Venezuela. I didn't say I'm in Venezuela or I have achieved landing status in Venezuela. The title is, I'm in a container that is going to Venezuela, and it is. This shipping container, I got a wicked deal on it. It is a one tripper. It's in mint, like I said, one trip. And it was 5,300 Canadian, no tax. Because it's leaving the country, it's considered international trade, there is no tax on it. It cost me $1,100 Canadian to go have it picked up by the tow truck driver. And I found a really good company in Mississauga called Elite Containers. And the guy I dealt with was Andrew, and I can't say enough good about him. Very accommodating. Took care of everything. The certification, that includes the certification, which is the survey where they inspect it, because you can't put this on a ship unless it's been inspected. So, best prices in Canada. I can't say enough good things about Elite Containers in Mississauga, Ontario. I don't have his contact information, but you can Google it. So there's only one Elite Containers in Mississauga, Ontario, and Andrew's the man. Can't say enough good about him. Okay, give me his. They had used containers for 3,800, but they range anywhere from 10 to 15 years old, and a one tripper like this is not even 9 months old, has been shipped from China and landed here, and it's been sitting waiting for me to buy it. Real learning experience buying a container. So I didn't know they had to be surveyed, but it's pretty heavy duty. It's got the big rubber seals on everything and seals right up tight. It's got quadruple locks on the door. It's pretty good. I'm happy with it. It's got the plastic floor. It's clean. When I power washed it, barely any dirt came out of it. So, like as you can see, look, it's like, here's my furniture. Furniture is started. I'm doing the sort and the repack from my move out of the established home I had for 27 years. So, it was a hasty move because it was a 2-week close. Even though I had the deal way before, it was conditional on their house closing. So it was a 2-week close. So it was very, very hasty getting out. No, I will be flying to the Venezuelans. Yes, I will be flying. I will be flying from Canada to Panama to Valencia. So, and I am really stoked, pumped, folks. But it's so slow because I'm sorting through stuff. I'm doing another purge is what I'm doing. Another purge and, getting things ready. So, I'll make it through the biblical years that are coming. I'm not even remotely worried, folks. Because you know what? I'll tell you something. The last 11 years of my YouTube show, when I started growing food there in 2011 on YouTube, I was preparing for what's coming right now. I'm not worried at all. I literally can grow food in my sleep. I'm not worried. I'm going to take care of animals in my sleep. No, won't miss it at all, Patty. If you want to catch my attention here, folks, I'm on the phone, ask questions. Make sure you follow by a question mark because I'm doing the chat on my phone and it's really small. So, I'm not standing my ground. I've fought the government. I have fought the government. I have had legal battles with every level of government. Every level. Federal, provincial, and municipal. I'm completely out of the house. Yes, completely out of the house. I no longer own the house. I do not live in the house. I do not habitate it. Nothing. I am not there. I'm in an undisclosed location in a shipping container. Right now. But anyways, so things are happening. I've had a lot of curveballs. Things happening. The things that happen in life. I've had just a brutal curve. So many curveballs. But you know what's crazy is the curveballs I've been throwing at me. It's like it's like water off a duck's back. What kind of people bought my home? The most awesome people. So, most awesome people. They're a Filipino couple, really nice. They're younger. They're like about 20 years younger than me. I'm going to be leaving before August the 30th. I'll be in Venezuela by August the 30th, the latest. That's my deadline. I have to get out of Canada before the lockdowns start. But before the lockdowns, and they're coming. They're going to lock us down again, because of another variant or whatever, or you have to get, another jab to, to be up to date, because there's no such thing as, fully jabbed. Now it's up to date jabbed. So I'm getting out before any of that takes place. I'm a pure blood. I'm staying that way. I've had the glucose intolerant now 3 times, and I ain't dead. So, even though people say that if you get the jab, you'll survive glucose intolerance, it won't be just as bad. Oh, Tiny, yeah, the September. Well, actually, flu season, probably about mid-September, they're going to start. Because they're already dropping the little bombs, about the glucose lockdowns. So that's already started. They're little hints. Like I was listening to the death minister, and they were saying that Canadians need to enjoy their summer, which means your life is going to be hell in the fall. So but I'm getting out, absolutely. But I've had like so many curveballs, folks. Anybody else? If I wasn't so nimble and easily adaptable to adverse crap being thrown at you, I would have a complete breakdown. Because I've had some crazy stuff, speed bumps, massive speed bumps thrown at me. Massive speed bumps that I would normally, if I was not the type of person I am, I would crack. But I'm getting through it. Things are happening, You know, things are happening. My shipping container is going to be a delay following me to Venezuela. So I have to put my shipping container, I have to pack everything, and my shipping container is going to have to sit in storage for probably 2 to 3 months before I can enter the country. So because I have to wait for my immigration papers to finalize in Venezuela before I can bring my personal belongings in. So, you know, that's the deal. What am I sending in my containers? As much as possible. It turned out to be so cheap. Well, the ducks aren't here in the shipping container, I can tell you that much. And like I said, if you got a question, question marks make the chat stand out, and I'll answer your questions. Statements are, unless you send me a bad statement, then I'll say something nasty back to you. But you want me to read? Can I scroll back? Oh yeah, I can. I can scroll back. Transfer assets. Well, I'm crapping bricks right now. I got too much money in the bank. That's another problem. So that's another problem. I do have cryptos. But I've had cryptos for 2 years playing with it. But my position is a little bit bigger now. I've done some really good crypto trades with this crash that's going on. I wrote a program to help me trade, and because now I'm sleeping in an undisclosed location. Basically, I have an air mattress beside my my computer that in 4 o'clock in the morning the alarms go off to tell me to trade, and I spring out of bed and trade. So no, I'm not living a normal life right now. I'm literally not. I'm sleeping on an air mattress in a little 11-foot room with a 55-inch TV across from me. I feel like a teenager. Immigration is a horror show. It's just a horror show, but thank God I have contacts down there to help me navigate everything. Well, what kind of content can you expect from me? You're going to expect awesome stuff from Venezuela. Awesome stuff from Venezuela. I own the container, Frito. So, I bought it, which was a blessing, because I was actually, what was happening, folks? So I rented a container to do the massive move out of the house. And I rented it, and I was going to do a sort to get out. And then I was talking to the shipping company, and they said, we'll give you a shipping container for 3 days. You have to load it, and then we take it to the ship or to the shipping yard. And I said, well, I need it for longer than that, because it takes a lot longer than to book it, to pack everything up. So I got talking to them. And the day they called me, the freight forwarder, they had a deal for me to rent a shipping container. And that very day, I had Andrew from Elite Containers cut me a deal on the container, and I made the decision to go with him. And I paid for it, for the shipping container, so I own it. And the next morning, I got an immigration curveball thrown at me, which means my container has to sit in Canada first, and I have to get my papers issued in Venezuela. But I have to be in Venezuela to get these papers issued. I have to physically be there, and once they issue the papers, then I can import my personal belongings. Because if I ship my personal belongings in without these, my belongings become commercial items, and they're subject to duty. So I need the papers. So I have to put my stuff, my container, luckily I own it, will sit in a shipping yard and wait 2 months, 2 and 3 months, whatever it takes, which actually turned out to be a bonus speed bump. Because I want to build a garage at my house in San Diego, and if I moved, like if my shipping container showed up right away with me, like if I flew down and then 2 weeks later the shipping container showed up, I would be pulling my hair out. Well, I would fill both my bedrooms and half the living room with the shipping container. It would be a real pain to live that way, like a real pain. So by going down and having this 2 to 3 month wait before I can ship the container, waiting for my immigration papers to be issued, I can build my garage on the side of the house in San Diego, which gives me the ability to unpack everything in an organized fashion, because I'm going to have a full-blown, not a really big garage, but the size of probably the garage would be about, probably the garage would be like 18 by 25, the side of the house. So I'm gonna have I'm gonna have more room than the shipping container. Plus I'll have the house. So it worked out to, it was good. It was good that there was this delay. I'm not worried about it at all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ship a couple boxes of items down, because I've shipped stuff to Venezuela already with a shipping company called International, what are they called? Intercontinental Movers? Oh, I forget what they're called. Intercontinental Shippers? I forget what the name of the company is. But I've used them, and they've got stuff down there, no problem. And they're trustworthy. So I'm going to ship a couple boxes down with them, plus 2 suitcases on the plane, and basically live sort of like semi-tourist type for 2 months, 3 months, whatever it takes for my papers to get through. And I'm pumped. I'm pumped, folks. I'm pumped about it all. But I've been doing a lot of shopping. Oh my God, I've been buying so much stuff. So much stuff. What do I think about what's going on with Brandon? I try not to think about Brandon. I try not to think about Castro. I try not to think about any of them. I'm focused on my life right now. I do a little bit of news reading like I used to. Oh, I'm losing the internet. Oh, what's going on? Why am I losing the internet? Let me just check something, folks. I gotta check my Wi-Fi. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. I don't know what happened. My internet got screwed up. I don't know. I'm working on stolen internet, so that's another thing. Like I said, I'm in a shipping container at an undisclosed location and working on stolen internet. So, so that's the deal. And I'm transmitting Wi-Fi in a steel box. So it looks like we lost a bunch of viewers in that blip. It's amazing how fast, eh? The internet goes down for a brief second and you drop like 30 viewers, like boom. Yeah. Yes, Venezuela question mark. Yes, that's where the shipping container is going. That's where we're going. That's where I'm going. Well, that's where the container's going. So other than that, it's been a quite interesting month. Since this whole liquidation of my life. Way doing too much shopping online though. How long can you be at a time in Venezuela? Well, my visa gets me into the country. It's a business visa, and it's a 1-year issue, and it allows you to stay in 180 days. But as soon as you land there, you can apply for residency, which is what I'm doing, and the residency gets issued 2 to 3 months, depending if you have contacts. And the door is going to slam. I might lose my internet. No, there's no street ducks in Venezuela. And I've got lawyers. I got immigration lawyers working on it already. I've already got that happening. Why San Diego? Well, because that's where the deal was for my townhouse. It was a nice area. It was quiet, secure. Townhouse with a nice neighborhood. Nice people. That's just the way it worked out. I would never do Caracas. Never. So, and it was either Valencia, where, and actually Abram lives in San Diego. because San Diego, Valencia, Lucaro, they're all the same. They're all the same. It's one big city. Like it's 1 million people, in that area. As far as I'm concerned, I'm in Valencia. As far as I'm concerned, because it's so close. Like I'm thinking it's like 16 kilometers, from the airport to my house. It's no big deal. I'm like 55 minutes from the beach, Puerto Bijo, or English Portobello. I'm like 55-minute drive, which I'm definitely going to be doing. That'll be one of the first things I'm going to be doing when I'm down there to relax. I'll go there for like a week, 5 days type trip. Check out the beaches. They got beautiful beaches there. That's actually where my container is going to land, is there, which is 55 minutes north, I've drove through there, Angel. I haven't been there physically. I've drove through it, to get to Cumana. I'm pretty sure I drove through it. I'm trying to remember the names, But immigration's just been a horror show. The government, I thought the Canadian government is pretty bad right now because you can't even get passports in Canada right now. So, I'm thinking Canada's got everybody beat right now because, we've got a really dysfunctional government up here. But, like very dysfunctional. But it's like, it's not easy, folks, to go through the immigration process. Not easy at all. They don't want you leaving your country, I can tell you that much. If I didn't have the patience and the resolve that I have, I don't even want to think about it. I'd give up. But I have too much, I want to do this too much. Like too much. And I think I would go absolutely stir crazy if I stayed in Canada. Plus, I can't stay in Canada because I don't have a home anymore. I have nothing. I am homeless. So I am done. So I have nothing here, except a shipping container, with a bunch of stuff in it. Well, yeah, but shipping container. That's the thing too. They've gone up in price drastically to ship, but because when I first 2 years ago. It was only $1,800 to ship a container to Venezuela, or $1,600 US to ship a container. Now it's $5,000. But really, if you think about it, $5,000, and that's from Montreal right to Venezuela, and then $500 if I got the shipping container company to deliver it to San Diego, but I can get it picked up, and myself. My friend. Areli, Abram's brother, he knows a trucking company that's going to go pick up my container and bring it to San Diego. So for like, I don't know, 300, 250 US. A lot cheaper than the freight forwarder up here wanted. Well, like the freight, they wanted $1,600 to deliver the container, and I found a tow truck driver to do it for $1,100. So. Doing a lot of wheeling and dealing, right now. Lots of wheeling and dealing is what's going on here. Hello, Inga. How are you? Oh, U.S. crack is 7,000. Yeah, that is expensive. Yeah, 5,000. I thought, I said to myself, what am I going to take down? And I priced out to ship 2 skids, and it worked out. The shipping company that they gave me a price. They priced everything on square footage, or cubic footage, I should say. And they gave me a price. It worked out to just ship 2 skids because I was going to take only 2 skids, which there's no way I could have done it 2 skids. But they gave me a price. It worked out to $63,000 for the container. Is the price they gave me based on the cubic feet. And I thought to myself, well, $63,000 is the rate they gave me for a cubic container, and then I found out that I can, ship for 5,000 my own container, and I said, well, let's just fill a container up and send a whole bunch of stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I'm filling up a container with a whole bunch of stuff, and and I'm going to ship it down. And I own the container, and I haven't decided if I think the container is going to end up going to Kumina, and it'll be I'll have it as a storage, either at the beach house. It would be better to have it storage at the farm, but the problem is getting this into the mountains where the farm is would be a very, very big challenge. I would probably have to hire a bulldozer to drag it into the farm, because there's no truck that can carry a container that can navigate getting into the farm. Either a bulldozer or about 6 ox, to pull the container in, and about 12 men and a full day's work to drag it in. A helicopter, that'd be difficult to find a helicopter big enough in Venezuela. It'd be cheaper getting 6 ox and 12 men. My farm is outside of Boconó. Santa Cruz, the village outside the village of Santa Cruz. No, I haven't fixed the beach house yet, Angel. I haven't got down there yet. I'm working on right now. I'm doing I've been working on, Abram's been doing, actually not me, Abram has been taking care of everything into my San Diego location. Just had to replace a window. The wind took a window out. And they're going to paint my fence. He did a bunch of weed whack in there. My banana tree's growing good. I wish they would have planted more banana trees 2 years ago, though. There's only 2 banana trees in my backyard. It would be nice if there was more of them, or maybe some plantano. Would have liked that even better. I like plantano. Plantain, love it. Even though you deep fry it, it's really bad for you. But I have a semi-detached home in San Diego. So they're gonna paint it. They're gonna start painting next week, the fence. I'm not painting the house until I build the garage. The garage is getting built when I'm down there. The glucose intolerant never happened in Venezuela. They didn't shut down restaurants. They didn't shut down the gyms. No forced jabs. Nothing. It's so maddening. Total lockdown up here, and they're free down there. And then they try to say it's a dictatorship, eh? It's like, yeah, they're free, we're not. Who's the dictatorship? Like, oh, Canada's the freest country in the world. You're free. Yeah, right. I just got my rights back to travel. And like I said, it's temporary. It's temporary. Like the death minister said, that Canadians need to enjoy this summer. So it's only for the summer. And then they're going to yank my rights away to hop on a plane to leave. And here's the crazy part. A foreigner, I can land in Venezuela. I can pay $35, not $270 like up here. $35 for the stupid test, and that's it. And no quarantine, nothing. Do the test, enter the country. Simple as that. And this is the crazy part. If let's say you do freakishly test positive for glucose intolerance, they say, okay, go home and stay home, and they never leave. They don't bother you. And you can buy, Ivor. I don't want to say the whole word here. And what's the other one? Ivor. And the 2 things that we're not allowed to have What's the other one? I keep forgetting. I'm trying to get code names here. I'm getting screwed up in the code names. The hydro. The hydro drug and the Ivor drug, okay? You can buy those at a pharmacy with no prescription, walking like aspirin. You can buy them like aspirin, man. Like literally aspirin. You walk in and you buy it with aspirin. 20 bucks US will buy enough aspirin to treat 4 people for glucose intolerance. Think about that. Think about that, folks. It's pretty bad at the code. We got to speak in code messages all the time because YouTube. They're probably wondering what the hell is going on in this channel. Glucose intolerant and aspirin. Anyways. Oh, it's getting warm in here though. The sun's beating on the container and I'm cooking and there's no air conditioning in the container and there's no fan. And I'm definitely getting hotter. It was cloudy and I thought, oh, perfect chance to do a quick live stream. And now the sun's coming out and I can feel the heat hitting me here. It's like it feels a little bit like a convection oven. It's like I can actually feel the heat coming off, the side of the wall here. I'm sticky on this side, but I'm not sticky on this side. Anyways, what else is going on? I'm getting closer, but way too much online shopping, way too much at the grocery store. The store's buying stuff. I bought $300 worth of first aid stuff today because I'm making 5 first aid kits because I want a first aid kit for each one of my buildings, my properties, plus I want a first aid kit for each one of my trucks because I'm buying 2 trucks. Yes, I'm going to do YouTube videos. I am. And once I get set up, I'm going to help people that want to come to Venezuela and do what I'm doing. If you're that adventurous as I am, but I am going to help. That's my goal. First, I have to, I guess you could say I have to brush the trail, is what I have to do. I'm going to brush the trail, clear cut everything, because now, like it's a mess. I have to navigate everything. So, computers, I'm actually bringing a crap load of computers. I'm actually bringing a crap load. I don't know what wood materials cost down there because everything's cement. I'm going to do a great wall around my house, but it's going to be rock and stone. Sorry, guys, here. Well, I'm glad, Angel, that you like my Venezuelan videos. I can't wait to get to your country. I can't. I can't. I'm looking forward to it. What I like about it is everybody's going everywhere else in South America. Everybody's going everywhere. You go on YouTube and everybody's going everywhere else but Venezuela. But like I said, I'm really blazing a trail here, cutting the path. I'm gonna have, like, I have learned so much the last 4 months on what you gotta have, what you need. And the thing is that if toilet paper, they got tons of toilet paper in Venezuela. I can show you pictures of walls of toilet paper. Anyways, I'm taking a bidet. I bought 3 bidets. So 3 portable bidets. Well, I bought the heads, just the heads of the bidets. I bought brass ones because I already got the hoses, but in my bathrooms. So I got rid of. I'm no longer toilet paper. I'm a bidet person now, completely bidet. I'm ready for the collapse and no toilet paper. Put it that way. Security camera. What good is that? Just like get a picture of a guy I'll never find. Not worried about it. My house in San Diego is impossible. It's built like a bank vault, actually. There's no way into it. Like, unless you're going to bust a wall down, it's the only way into my house. It's the only way. The bars are ridiculous, The house is armored up big time. Yeah, you can have firearms. I own 2 shotguns already in Venezuela. I just gotta get my permits, but I already own them. I've been shopping way too much, folks. I bought these gun safes. They're not a gun safe. It's for holding a shotgun on the wall, and it's anchored, cemented into the wall, and it's a mechanical lock, and it holds a loaded shotgun. So you got a loaded shotgun mounted against the wall. You know, I ordered one for each of my house. Oh. I'm buying a lot of things because my trip, I had a list, eh? I had a list. I've been making a list when I got back 2 years ago. Thankfully, I did the list when it was fresh in my head. And I have a list of all things I needed, like first aid kits, you know? Because, you know, I bought a whole bunch of trauma kits from Israel, you know, military trauma kits, bought a bunch of those. Today, I just dropped like $300 on more first aid stuff. And I'm going to build all these first aid kits because, you know, I want everything to have, like every vehicle, every property to have first aid kit. Stop the bleeding, and then drive to the hospital, you know. I'm not planning on saving myself, you know. Am I going to buy more houses and land? Yes, I am. I'm contemplating selling my beach house. Oh, because I really want to build my own home instead of working with somebody else's. I've been thinking about it the last month, and I've renovated enough homes in my life, and I'm after renovating my farmhouse for 27 years, I've had enough. And I'm thinking, plus I'm getting older because, you know, I'll be 61 this year, and I want a bungalow. I want a bungalow, and because every dog that I've had, my dogs have suffered with the stairs, and I've always said that I hate the stairs, you know. So I want a house with no stairs. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do in Kumina is I'm going to stay at my friend's beach house because I can rent it, fix up my beach house, sell it to a gringo, you know, like myself that wants to come to Venezuela. Because like I said, I'm learning a lot of things about how to get into the country more efficiently than I did. Like I think I've got a way that somebody could buy a house and move there without ever having stepped foot in the country, you know, where you'll just literally add to cart, new life, go to Venezuela type thing. That's the kind of deal I think I can muster up with what I know now and the contacts I'm making. So, because once I'm in the country, it's different. Once you're in the country, you can make things happen. Doing it remotely like this, the way I'm doing everything, that's frustrating as hell. But I'd like to buy a piece of land, so travel the east part of the country, and you know, and then you know, find a nice piece of property close to the water, like really, really close, like just literally beach right in front of it, and then build a nice big bungalow. Not really even that big, but you know, a bungalow. I want a bungalow in my future. You know, the farmhouse is a bungalow, but I want a bungalow at the beach house. And like I said, my friend's beach house, which sucks, it's 5 stories. 5 stories of stairs, you know. 5 stories sucks. But I can live there for like really cheap. Like really, really cheap. It's complicated for anybody to go to the country. Trust me. It's complicated. But if I was there in the country, no complication. Because the problem is right now I'm dealing with government officials and just the way the whole system works down there. Because I know, like when I got my truck registered, I know what I went through to get it registered. It was very simple because, you know, there's ways of doing things very simple down there. But you have to be there to do it, you know. I don't have any money in Venezuela to take advantage of me. Well, but good luck taking advantage of me. I laugh about that one. It's like, I'm just an average person. I'm living with the peasants, man. Just being one of them, doing the thing down there. Not doing the gringo thing. Oh, be one. Be one with the people. One with the country. As I say, do a horsefly. Do one. Do as it when in Rome, do as the Romans. That's the saying. Yeah. Oh, I just got bit twice, folks. I'm trying to control myself here because this horsefly just threw into the shipping container, flew in here, and decided to screw off. Oh no, it's a stable fly. No, it's a horsefly. Okay, left. I'm safe now. Okay, I thought I saw a question mark. Hang on here. Did I see a question mark? Keep my house till I settled? Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to wing it. First thing I do, I got to get my San Diego situation set up. So, San Diego's top priority. Got to get it settled so I can, have a home base. And once the home base is done, then I'm laughing. But then I can start, spreading out on my plans, Yeah, I bought some antibiotic stuff today. The problem is you only get the over-the-counter antibiotics here because you got to get a doctor prescribed, and you can buy that. That's the thing too. You can buy all of that down there. It's there. It's everywhere. You just need dollars to buy it. Because they have it there, folks. It's not like they don't have it. That's the misconceived idea about everything down there. People say they don't have it. They do. It's the dollars they don't have to buy it. And that I know. The whole family had COVID the second time. Well, you're going to get it a third time too, just to let you know. Boy, I said the word. Oh no, I shouldn't say it. Glucose intolerant. I have glucose intolerant. First time I had it was 28 days. Second time I had it was 10 days, and the third time I had it was 5 days. So the power is 120, 60 hertz. It's normal like us. Yeah. And the 10, when I had it the second and third time, when I had the glucose attack there, the 10-day one was like a summer cold with a little bit of, chest congestion. And then the third time I had it was like exactly like a summer cold with a marginal amount of phlegm, like marginal. It was like only lasted like 2 or 3 days. I think it was last August, September, August last year. I did a live stream when I had the glucose. But the first time it knocked the living crap right out of me. Like I had no energy for 28 days. 28 days. Well, you're good that you don't have glucose intolerant there, Stig. It was just like the bad flu. That's what it was. Not even bad. Like I've had flus. Actually, folks, back on the channel, I keep getting, I think it was January 2017, the year that I got really sick on the channel. And I was laying in bed doing videos with the camera, really, really sick. I think it was 2017. And I actually did videos. I didn't publish them right away because I was sick. But I remember laying in bed, and I remember it was 4 days. And I would just get out of the bed to go, dump a load of feed into the duck feeders. And I remember that 3 weeks that what had happened. It was 2 or 3 weeks that I was sick, but 4 days I was really sick. And we had a really warm stretch in the middle of the winter. It was warm enough that I could turn the lights on in the pen, and the ducks were actually outside at night, because it was so warm. And it was the only thing that saved me. I timed it perfect. Like I got this deathly flu when it warmed up, and I was in bed. I remember being in bed, and I remember this very clear because it was probably the worst flu I ever had. And I remember laying in bed, looking out the skylight, thinking that they were going to find me in a couple weeks, and Doug had eaten my arm because I was dead. That's how sick I was. I was laying there and I said, I am going to die here. And I was fine with it. I was like, just hopefully, they can, save Doug. But I remember laying there thinking, they're going to find me, my arm is gone because Doug ate my arm, Like, so, and then I think it was 2017. Pretty sure it was. And I was sick. That was the worst flu I ever had. It was a 10 out of a 10 because I should have died and I didn't. So the glucose I had there in February 2020 was like a 4 in comparison to that time. So it was still bad. It was more a lot of inconveniences. Couldn't breathe right and coughing. The coughing was bad for 8 days. Having to sit up in my bed, to sleep was a pain. A lot of just inconveniences, But nothing like that one in 2017 where I was like, but I've had worse. Like I had pneumonia in 96, pneumonia in 96, and that was really bad. 11 days in bed. That was bad, that one. I've had some bad runs to catching different viral infections in my travels, but the coof, not a problem. Never got a flu shot, Rooster. Never done a flu. Never done the flu shot ever. Won't do it. Not into that stuff, man. Injecting stuff in your body. I got a phobia with needles when I was a kid. Needles. My friends were doing drugs and needles, and I wasn't. They died. I didn't. Well, not all of them died, but some of them died. But I didn't. Needles. Don't like needles. Not a needle fan. I'll do painkillers though. I'll do a painkiller with a needle. Because I like the feeling of a painkiller. But that's it. Okay, there's my limit. Well, when I had the concussion and they had to give me the needle because my brain was swelling up and they were worried that I was going to have a separated retina, and they said we need to get the swelling down fast, so we're going to inject this anti-inflammatory into you to bring the swelling down in your brain. And I said, okay. Because I didn't like, when they said, I didn't understand the separating retina thing, but I just knew it wasn't good. You know what I mean? And yeah, inject me. No. Done. But I'm not, I like the too woozy can be fun though, Rooster. A little bit of fun. Have a trip and never leave the farm. One of those things. Totally legal. Of course, now in Canada, everything's legal. You can have fentanyl now in your possession. I can't believe it. Now you can have, I think it's what is it, 2.5 grams of fentanyl? Like, Well, now the jabs, they've admitted, I watched Australia today, the death minister in Australia said that they know now it doesn't prevent you from getting it, but it stops you from getting as sick. But I'd like to know where these clinical studies are where they, it could have been worse thing. So now they're saying you need to have the third or possibly fourth jab to be not as sick. But you'll still transmit it and still catch it. So, I don't know. And they admitted they changed their story. I watched that this morning, the death minister of Australia. I don't know the date I'm leaving yet. Haven't cemented that down yet, the exact date. But I absolutely will be out of here by August the 30th. That's the plan. August the 30th. I'll be gone. The latest. August 15th would be better. But it might August 30th because I'm buying some things that are coming from the other parts of the world that are getting sent to me, and it says that I'm not going to get them here till the middle of August, so we'll see what happens. Because I am, like I said, I'm buying way too much stuff. Little things that are hard to get that I will need down there. So, just little things. Nothing big. I'm not buying anything big. Like fridges and stoves I'm buying down there. Like I was pricing out. I'll give you, here's some examples, folks. I'll give you some examples because like I follow 3 companies in Venezuela, retailers, big retailers on Instagram to see what sales they got. So I'm at Home Depot because I had to buy a whole bunch of plastic containers for shipping. Well, I'll show them to you. I own a lot of these. I should buy shares in the company. See that plastic container? I own more than you can imagine. Because it worked out, cardboard boxes. Well, one, cardboard boxes are terrible in the tropics because they get mushy from the humidity. And two, the bugs like to eat them. So it worked out that a double ply cardboard box in the same size, the plastic container was $6 more, $7 more. So, and Home Depot, something happened at Home Depot because they were normally $26.97 Canadian, and for some reason right now they're $16.97, and they've been that price for over a month. But you go to Home Depot and there's like they got a stack like skids of them everywhere. They bought way too many. So I'm so I bought a lot of them. So I'm mostly packing in those plastic containers because I figured, I can use them in the houses for storage, and if I want to, they nest inside each other and they disappear. It's like they're a good deal. And like I said, the bugs don't eat them, and they're waterproof. They can sit outside and not get full of water. They don't get soft, and they were $7, $6.97 more than a cardboard box, which would be a problem because I was like, what am I going to do with all these double wall cardboard boxes? So because you got to use double wall because you can't use single wall. Because when you're stacking in the container, if you use a single wall, the weight causes all the cardboard boxes to collapse. So everything has to be packed in double wall boxes in the container. So it made sense to pay the extra money and have a reusable container down there. So, exactly, disrespect. That's what's happened. They bought way too much, and now it's all appearing. Nobody wants this stuff. Like, I'm not kidding you. Home Depot, it is nuts. The skids of these things in Pembroke, what they have. I couldn't believe it. There were like 280 in stock. I bought way too many. I can only fit 26 in the car at a time, though. 26 is the maximum I can get in the car. The BMW, the little 5 Series. That's it. 26, and it's packed. You're not getting any more containers in. Because I bought a whole bunch and I had to go back and take them for a refund. Now I know my limit. And electric stoves. Anyways, back to the retailers. So I did some pricing because I was looking up here and they got a special. They got a special on a fridge at Home Depot. They got a deal on it for 10 cubic foot fridge for $600. And they had a 10 cubic foot or 12 cubic foot, 12 cubic foot freezer. I forget what it was, but the price was really good. So I thought I'm going to look, but it was still too small. So I went on to the big retailers in Venezuela and looked at the prices. And first of all, there's no small stuff like that in Venezuela because it gets bought up instantly. All the smaller fridges and the smaller freezers get bought up by people instantly. But I couldn't believe, which I saw that when I was down there, is deluxe fridges. A fridge I would never buy up here. Like a fridge up here that I was like, I don't need a double open, fridge. The super ice maker and all that kind of stuff, $999. So I was like, I buy a fridge up here for, with tax, I got to pay tax. So I'm going to buy a fridge up here for $850 for a small, too small. And if I buy a 20, cubic foot one, I'm going to drop $850 plus tax, so $1,000, $950 Canadian, or $999 US tax included. And I get a stainless steel double door big one in Venezuela. Well, it's anybody, it's a no-brainer. Just wait till you get to Venezuela and buy the big, and a brand name too, like Samsung, Hyundai, like not a no-name. Like the one that's in Home Depot is a Magic Chef, they call it. Like who's Magic Chef? So you want the deal here in Canada, it's some no-name off-brand, but the one in Venezuela is like a Samsung or a Hyundai, brand name. So I'm going to do that because I thought about that because I have the container. I can bring anything I want down. And I'm not going to bother with that. So, and it range the same thing with the stove. Same thing. A stove up here. You're going to drop minimum $1,400 up here Canadian. Because of crap. First of all, there's all the $850 stoves up here. They're not available. They're sold out, and you're going to wait 3-4 months to get one. So the only thing available right now here in Canada is like $1,400-$1,600. Well, for $1,000, you can get a stove down there, you know, $1,200. And if you want to go with a built-in unit, like a built-in one, built into the wall with a countertop range, you know, you're looking at $1,000. You know. No, I'm not going to get shot there. The bullets are too expensive. No. No. Most guns don't have don't have ammo down there. No, Amazon doesn't have delivery to Venezuela. I can buy it on Amazon and have it shipped, you know, to the company in Toronto, and then they can forward it to me if I want to do that. But I don't need to. Like most things you can get down there, like if you have dollars. Like an example, generator. Up here, you know, a generator is going to cost you a decent one, $1,200. Well, $1,000, you can buy a generator down there, same price. You know? If you have dollars, you can buy anything you want. They're the stores, you know? It's just like, they have like, well, I did videos when I was down there. You know, I did all that research on my trips. They have you know, they have stores down there. You can buy stuff, you know? You just need dollars, you know? Am I going to make the container into something? I'm going to make it into a container, storage, you know? I bought a beautiful knife the other day. I scored on eBay a beautiful knife on eBay for my farm, for me on the farm. Well, just for me, period, down there. A cold steel Espinada XL. I got it for half price. It was an auction. Nobody was bidding on it. The auction ended at midnight. I set my timer on my phone to wake me up at 11:57. Jumped out of bed, went and bought it. $122. Up here in Canada, they want $349 for the knife. I got it for $122. Beautiful 7.5-inch blade. Foldable knife. Perfect for wearing at the farm, you know. For working. Because I plan on doing some work at the farm. I plan on doing some farming. Some food growing, some animals, so I have a you know, a sustenance at my fingertips like I've been used to the last 11 years. Because like I said earlier, you know, when I started this, you know, the last 11 years, I prepared for what's coming in the world. That's why I'm not worried. That's why I know I can get down there and I can do what I want, you know. Exactly, Karen. That's exactly what the deal is. They have everything we have. Everything. It's the thing is they don't have is dollars. You know? Like I wish when I was down there in that big store, I went into the really, really big one and my camera went dead. I wish the battery would have continued so you guys could have seen. But they have everything. They're like, they have everything. They're like, I'm not even worried. Like pots and pan sets. The only thing was knives, which I bought some knives, which I got a really crazy deal on some Henkel knives on the Canada Day long weekend. They had a special, and I signed up for the 20% off, and I sent it to myself as a friend and got 20% off, and I bought 2 sets of knives because I own a nice Henkel set that I bought back in the 80s, but I need a set for each house, and they had a wicked deal on. Oh. That's the only thing, those type of things, you know, it's really specialty items like that would be, you would have to go to Caracas and hunt to find them, and you would never be able to buy like a $300 knife set that I paid up here. You know, you would pay a G note down there, you know, US, to get the same knife set. And you wouldn't get any choice. And I got 4 free steak knives with each one, so you wouldn't get the free steak knives either. But, you know. Oh yeah, Corey, I did on the Henkels, yeah. I got the exact same set that I've had for 40 plus years. 4-star set, you know, forged in Germany, ice hardened. And I got 4 steak knives free with each set. I scored a good deal. And I got 20% off, plus Canada Day sale. It was double, triple. Actually, I got double discount plus free knives. So, and I know I needed a set for each house. Because I want to set each house up so that I just hop in my truck and go to the next house. Like I'm not hauling stuff around, you know. I've got a question here. Oh, my beds. Yeah, I'm buying mattress toppers. I got latex mattress toppers. I'm taking down 2-inch pure natural latex mattress toppers because I've got a 3-inch one already that's from my bed. Because all the beds down there are super hard, mattresses. Cheap hotel mattresses is all they have. But that's a tropical thing because a hard flat bed is cooler to sleep on. But I'm old, so I'm taking down 2-inch mattress toppers, pure latex. And there's no latex and pure latex in Venezuela because I've already talked to people down there that are in the foam business, and the guy that's redoing my truck, and there is no such thing as pure latex in Venezuela. The latex is all synthetic, you know. No, no, these knives will never rust. They're pure. No, it doesn't matter. These are super high quality knives. It's impossible for them to. They can't rust. It's impossible. You know. If a knife rusts, it's cheap steel. Put it that way. And I've had lots of knives in my life, and the good ones, a good knife never will rust if it's good steel. And yes, I'm getting dogs in Venezuela. Yipper, that's absolute for sure. It'll be a rescue too. I'm gonna find a dog that's. I'll probably pick the worst looking dog on the street. The worst looking dog. And then give it a great life, and hopefully it listens better than Doug did. Hopefully, 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 His Doug didn't listen. It was brutal, and that's another thing too. With everything that's going on, and look at now the airlines. They won't even let you. They won't even show the shots. Help? I don't understand the question. The airlines are not letting you put pets on because of all the delays. Air Canada just announced, you can't put a plant until September 12th. All pets are banned. They're doing everything, folks, to make it, impossible. Or they're not impossible. They're doing everything possible to make it miserable to travel. Is what they've done. Is what they're doing right now. Everything possible to make it miserable. Well, I got a challenge for you. Go to copaair.com and try to book a flight. Or even to research flight prices. The site doesn't work half the time. I've complained to them. You have to call to book a flight. And they say, yeah, they know it doesn't work. Doug was St. Bernard and Rhodesian Ridgeback. 70-30 split. DNA tested. But they're making it miserable to fly. So you won't fly. But I'm gonna rescue a dog. Maybe a couple. I'm definitely gonna be. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna have. And I've actually thought about some things because because of my experience on YouTube, I haven't lost my vision. I still have visions. Okay. I'm going to do my self-sufficient farming thing. And I'm going to do a food co-op, and help to set up a good, operation for the locals to grow food, and because I don't ever want to grow food again. I want to be able to I want to just walk up and say, feed me, basically. So I need to set it up so that the food's growing. But I have a passion for dogs. I just love dogs. And it breaks my heart to see street dogs. It truly breaks my heart. Which you can tell. I fed the dogs, I don't do that for YouTube show. Trust me, I do things with dogs that I don't share. Okay? I'm not a narcissist where I have to have recognition when it comes to dogs. Humans, different story. Recognition, but dogs, I do it just because I have just a true love of dogs. not too fan of humans sometimes, but the dogs is unconditional. And I do have an idea, which I had, that I've kept in the back of my mind. I think I've shared it a couple of times on the channel, but I would like to set something up to rescue dogs. And I'm talking about, take a street dog, bring it in, nurse it back to health, neuter it, and then let it go again. Okay? Because if it's living on the street, it's figured it out. But it's the neutering. It's bring it in, nurse it back to health, get it healthy, neuter it, let it recover, or get it fixed, and then let it go again, or get it adopted, whatever. But just the neutering and the fixing needs to happen to cut down on the dogs, because the poor pups, the females just get pounded all the time, and then they're given their birth. There's so many males, and they're taking turns on these females, and the females are just in constant pregnancy. So, and that's something, and that's something you can do, on YouTube and share it, and then have, set up something, and you can set up cheap, buy some land, buy a house, whatever, some property, and then give updates, and people can see what you're actually doing, and share it, that these are the dogs we saved this week, and they're here, making them better, and then we're going to neuter them, and then let them either get them adopted or set them free, and help curb the street dog situation. Do our little thing for the dogs, help the dogs out. Because I know for a fact, and I've seen this, when you have 10 street dogs running free in a neighborhood, the people hate them, because the dogs get really aggressive and they throw rocks at them. But if there's only one lonely street dog, because you've spayed and neutered so many of them that there's you've only got 1 or 2 street dogs, what happens is people end up adopting them. They just bring them into their house, and because we're not talking a pack of 10 ducks, a pack of 10 dogs. You're talking 1 or 2 roaming the streets, and next thing you know, they're living at somebody's house. I know a person right now. I know a person in Venezuela. This situation, it was 1 dog, and they already had a dog. They already had 2 dogs, actually. And because this 1 dog on the street was all by itself, they end up bringing it into their house. So I know this. This is the way it works down there. So, if you can reduce the population, that you don't have packs of dogs running around, through a proper way. I'm not talking any euthanization type thing, but that the dogs get, because Venezuelans really like dogs, and because dogs serve a purpose. They're alarm systems. They bark, and they let you know that there's somebody in your yard or somebody walking on the street. But a pack of dogs scares them. Like that night I was walking with the pack of dogs, and I had 8 dogs. They were chasing everybody that was coming near me. And I watched kids run and jump on top of the water tanks to get away from the dogs, because the dogs were just losing it to keep everybody away from me, because I was feeding the dogs chicken, so the dogs loved me, and they didn't like anybody else. But these are just little ideas, things I can do on the side that don't take a lot of my time. Anyways, just little ideas in my head. I got lots of ideas, and I'm gonna have time to do it all, because I'm not gonna grow and raise animals. I'm gonna have a farm co-op doing it for me. I just got to manage it. Manage it and finance it, which is within my abilities. Actually, Suzanne, Doug, he would have loved the farm, and the beach house. He would have liked that too, to a certain degree, but he would, absolutely hated San Diego, which is going to be my life probably for the next 6 months. The next 6 to 9 months, I'm pretty well, got San Diego in my life, and that would have been very cruel to Doug to go from a free bush dog, you know, roaming free on his, you know, living the life large, to, you know, scorching heat in the city in a small backyard, you know. You know, Doug did his job, and he left me. And just the way it happened, you know. Sold the farm and gave me his notice the next day. You know, it's just the way everything happened. Way too many coincidences. Too many pieces fell into place. You know. He's out front, you know, in his spot. You know, with the five. There's 5 dogs out front. There's 5 dogs buried out front. You know, the pet cemetery. Front yard of this property. I've done my fair share of dog contributions to this property. You know. Oh, Karen, I'm going to do lots of. I'm going to share what I'm doing down in Venezuela. Because I want to say, I'm excited. I want to share my excitement and show everybody. You know, who knows? Maybe I'll go down there and I'll get killed. I don't know. You know, I don't think it's going to happen. I got a really positive feeling about it. You know, I do. You know, yeah, Doug was meant to stay here. He was. I've made it. It's still hard. I get choked up talking about him. I don't know. I don't think of him like, the first 2 months was brutal. The first 2 months was really bad. I would just, the amount of crying I did the first 2 months. But talking about him, I still get choked. Like, I'm choking up right now thinking about him. And releasing those videos for you guys, like I've watched them, and they're hard for me to watch, you know. They are, because, you know, like, even I forget what Doug was like at the beginning, you know, when I got him here. Because Doug, there's a video I'm going to release, and some people might not like it, because it's a video when Doug bit me, and it hurt like hell, and I smacked him hard when he bit me, and it didn't even faze him, you know. And I have it, you know, and it's going to be the last one I release, and there is some violence in it towards Doug because of what he did to me, and I forgot how aggressive Doug was, and that video brought up memories back. Because when I got Doug, you know, he was like a wild animal. He had no training, like none, and he was like he's 105 pounds when I got him, and you know, he hit like a 125, 130 in the first year, and he thought he was the alpha in the relationship, and he was constantly challenging me, and like constantly, and there was a lot of off-camera things happened that I totally forgot about, of how aggressive he was. Like, there was a lot of times Doug got whacked like really, really hard, you know, because it was the only way I could get his attention, you know. Like, you have no idea the amount of whacking that took place to get that dog. I had to break him, you know. I had to break him. Doug's original name was Diesel, you know. And when I was in high school, there was a person that was named Diesel that used to pick on me. He was a bully. He used to beat me up. So I didn't really want a dog called Diesel, you know. So, and then when I saw Doug digging up the dead Rottweiler, I was like, Doug. I stuck to the letter D. So, you know. No, all my houses have electricity. Not a problem in Venezuela. So that's the last video, which I'm gonna, like, there's some other ones. That's the reason Diesel, yeah, I was like, I didn't like that name because of my history. If it wasn't for the history of high school and, you know, getting beat up by Diesel, who happens to be dead from a drug overdose, you know, I would have left it, because I really don't care. But he got the name Doug because it was like he's digging up a dead dog, and I needed it. I needed a D word, and and that's how he got it. Which it turned out, when Doug moved here, the first year, like 2014, I don't know. There's videos of him digging. He loved to dig. I remember him in the swamp digging in the water. He'd dig in the mud. Like the dog was a dig-aholic. But he was bored, When he first got here, I remember in 2014 when he first got here, and he was digging. He'd be down in the swamp digging in the mud. Like he'd be doing duck stuff and predator, running around smelling, and then he would just stop and start digging because when he lived the 17 and a half months in the apartment, he dug all the time. So it was like a habit to him, and he had to break this habit, of digging. And then finally, 2015, he had broken the habit of digging, and he had enough distractions that digging was in his past, but he'd already gotten his name by then. I remember that this first summer, and he'd be digging in the swamp, and there'd be like all this water spraying up, like he was in the mud, like in the water, and it was like a spray of water behind him digging. But that was because in his head, he had dug so many holes, when he was trapped in that apartment. He was just bored, and that's all he knew what to do. And he didn't realize there was, so much more sensory, stimulation to be had here, that digging was like for peasants, for peasant dogs, But I've got, I think, 4 more videos of Doug, 4 or 5, and then there's the last one, which is the violent one. And I've thought about not releasing it, but I'm going to release the last one. And you'll hear the smack. Oh, she's loud. And it doesn't even faze him. That's the one thing about Doug. You could smack him as hard as you could, and it wouldn't even faze him. I used to say if you wanted to get his attention, you'd have to beat him with a 2x4. Because nothing fazed him. Nothing. Like, never. Like, I think he cried once on the bed when I grabbed him, and it was like I just pulled his foot the wrong way or something. I remember, but it was like more of a shock thing. But he's never cried from being smacked, because nothing fazed him. Nothing fazed him. The dog was just a beast, Ironically, he didn't like the water on his feet, the hose of his feet, but yet he'd dig in the mud, he'd run in the mud, he would, but then if a small puddle, he'd have to, princess, around it, but yet he'd, go into the swamp. It made no sense. The dog was like something wrong upstairs when it came to that stuff, But anyways, well, that's what's happening. Lots of memories, folks, Doug was immortalized on the internet, which is sort of cool, When am I going to live stream next? I don't know. Today was sort of a last minute thing, But I'm going to wrap it up here, folks. I've been chatting with you for 78 minutes, rambling here inside of a shipping container. 2 beers later, And I'm supposed to be doing stuff today, which I didn't. I've been packing nonstop, and standing on the cement floor packing is exhausting. I'm back at the grind tomorrow, Back at the grind, getting things happening. I'm pumped. I am pumped. I'm leaving, I'm leaving this place. I'm going to go start a crazy life, I got to get my other container emptied out by July the 5th. Because I'm not paying another month rent on it. So, afternoon nap. Yeah, I don't know. I got to stay off the computer because, like I said, shopping. My eyes are burning from shopping. Major shopping, Crazy shopping. I can't believe the shopping I'm doing. I bought $297 worth of bandages and gauze today, Ordered a bunch of first aid bags today. I went around to all the stores today looking for nylon bags that I could just spray paint the red cross on, and I couldn't find any. Of course, you know, when you want a cheap nylon bag, there's nowhere to be found, Oh. But when you don't need them, there's cheap nylon, you know, tote bags everywhere. Oh. And if I would have thought of ahead of time, I could have bought the same bag from China for $5.86 because they're selling it on Amazon for $11. You know, but these are things, little things, you know, setting up little things that you would never think about, you know, for the new life. About window film, about this cool window film. I'll share this one with you, the window film. I discovered this window film 2 years ago. A friend of mine got their home done with this 8mm 3M security tinted, well, they use the clear. And it was called Ultra Night Vision 800 S25. And I started researching it, and 3M won't sell it. It has to be installed. Nobody will sell it to you. But I found a guy that will sell it to me, a dealer. And he says, you don't want that stuff. It's like, to do 2 trucks, it's $670 for the plastic. And what this plastic does, well, one, it cuts out 75% of the heat, or 75% of the light, 95% of the ultraviolet, and 90% of the heat. It cuts out. But because it's 8mm thick, is that if you smash the window doesn't break. It makes the window impossible to fall apart. So like if they smash it and the window shatters, the window's still solid. They literally got it. You can go on YouTube. There's videos on YouTube for 3M security. And it's like, you see when there's one at the grocery store and the guy's trying to put a grocery cart through it on a plate glass window and he can't get through. So I found this guy in Ottawa, and he says, no, you don't want this night vision. Well, you can buy the night vision one for $670 or $690 for 2 trucks, enough for 2 trucks. Or we have this other one we stock, and it's called Ultra Silver. And it turns out the only difference is that the night vision part, it isn't as good, but it doesn't matter. And it's silver, and it's still 8mm. And, you know, if somebody, you know, like people when they break into vehicles, they always smash the side window and then grab inside. Well, you know, they smash the window and the window won't break. So I bought enough of that. I'm going down to Ottawa next week to pick it up. I'm buying enough to do 2 trucks because I'm buying a second truck. Oh yeah, it's trucks. Well, yeah. So trucks, here's something, folks. Talk about inflation and the worldwide devaluation of the US dollar. So I bought my truck, and I got a good deal on it because, you know, the connection I had. So I got it for $4,250. I bought my truck. And it was a 2014 with 60,000 clicks. Well, and when I bought it, the going price for a truck was basically about $5,000. $45,000 to $5,000 was the going price for that truck in Caracas, everywhere around the country. A Dongfeng Rich, okay, 4-wheel drive. Well, today, if you wanted to find a 2014 with 80,000 clicks, this is one example, with 80,000 kilometers, a 2014, $9,000. The truck has doubled in price. Like, the dollar is crashing worldwide. That even in Venezuela, if you want to buy, you know, a Dongfeng Chinese truck, the price has doubled in 2 years, 2.5 years, doubled. Because it was $5,000, now it's $9,000. Almost doubled. So, because I'm buying a second truck. I'm buying a second truck. The exact same thing, same model, everything. And now I have to spend double for my backup truck. Because I want a backup vehicle. Just in case. You know, and I'm not doing without a vehicle. You know, the truck breaks, something needs to get done. I just want to, you know, drop it off at the mechanic and then go drive my other truck. You know. So, but that's, I couldn't believe it, the price doubled. And the price of other trucks have gone through the roof. Because this is a Chinese truck, you know, and I'm telling you, it's Chinese truck. It's not deluxe. But I can't believe it, you know, from basically 4,500 to 5,000 to 9,000 in less than 26 months. You know. So that's some truck information on Venezuela for you. Soon I'll have boots on the ground information other than deep dive research from what I'm doing down there. So I'm going to go. I can't think of anything else. And no theft insurance. That's why you buy cheap Chinese trucks. You know, no insurance down there. I'm not having no insurance. No more crazy insurance. No more crazy mortgage payments. No more crazy expenses, period. That's why I'm buying a truck that I can afford to lose. You know, that's the whole plan. You know, I can't think of anything else. I can't think of anything else, folks. You know. So I'm gonna say goodbye. It's been 85 minutes and 48 seconds, and it's time for me to go. And plus, my beer's empty, and it's a hot Sunday afternoon, and I'm thinking I need a third beer. So I'm gonna say goodbye, and then tomorrow I'm back to packing, and I'll give you an update in a couple weeks. I'll probably give you an update when the container gets time for when the container is time to leave. I will do another update, and then you can see that, you know, okay, he's done it. He's packed, and it's happening. So, and then we're getting and hopefully, if everything works out, somewhere between August the 15th and August the 30th, I will be doing a live stream from within the borders of the beautiful country of Venezuela. You know, that's what's going to happen. And thank you, Inga. I will enjoy the beer because I'm really craving a third one. So have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining me. And, you know, I just can't say thanks enough for all the years of support you've given me on the channel. And I promise you I'm going to deliver on some new stuff that is going to be unique. And I'm not changing my channel name. Everybody keeps asking me that. I don't care what the channel name is. So it's 50 Ducks in a Hot Tub in Venezuela.